My name is Tim Collins. Happy to be with you this morning. Look at the umpire crew. Marnie Carvalho from Canada is behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Michal Zidek from the Czech Republic at first. Renzo Ruiz from Mexico is at second. Tomas Lohnert from Germany is at third. So the four-person umpire crew is ready to take the field. They're dusting off the bases, dusting off the plate, making sure everything's in place. Britt Vonk has grabbed some dirt. She's going to step into the batter's box and get things started for Team Kingdom of the Netherlands. They won the first day against Puerto Rico, an upset 3-1, and then they won yesterday a hard-fought 6-2 victory over Australia. And here comes the first pitch, and it's outside for a ball to Vonk, who is 0 for 4 in the tournament, but with 2 runs scored. And she's made some excellent defensive plays. That throw from short that she made yesterday shows bunt, and that pitch is a strike called over the outside corner from Miu Goto, who in the opener against Australia pitched 6 innings of shutout ball, 5 hits and 7 strikeouts, no walks for the left-hander in the circle. 1-1 to Britt Vonk. Here it comes. And that just missed outside. Kiriishi holding it there for quite a while for Carvalho to try to call it. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Miu Goto was also part of that Olympic team in 2020, won the gold medal. There's one up and in off the glove of Kiriishi, trickles away. 3-1. Vonk has been getting on base. In her World Cup career going back to 2018, if she gets on base, she's likely to try to run. She's stolen 8 out of 9. 3-1. This is a big game for the Netherlands, trying to see how they match up against the heavy favorites in this tournament. That one is looped foul off to the left, and Vonk has a full count now. Miu Goto, 23 years old. She starred for Japan in that gold medal run in the Olympics in 2021 in Tokyo. Full count to Britt Vonk at the back of the box with a slightly open stance. Is the left-handed hitter, and that one is hit off the fists on one bounce to Hitomi Kawabata, who plays it to first for the first out of the inning. Goto getting in on the hands with that pitch, and Vonk was only able to hit a little looper. A nice easy hop for Kawabata at second. Eri Shimoyama covering first, so a 4-3 put out, and that'll bring up Brenda Beers. Beers in the first 2 games is 2 for 7 with 2 runs scored. Her first look at Goto begins with a swing and a foul, strike 1. Well, Japan, they talked about coming into this tournament wanting to use speed and defense. Well, the pitching hasn't been too shabby either. They have yet to give up a run in their first 2 games. The 0-1. There's a little looper, shallow center field. That's going to get over Ishikawa's head and drop in for a base hit for Brenda Beers. Ishikawa, the shortstop, was playing in, and that ball landing just at the edge of the grass beyond the dirt, out of the reach of Kyoko Ishikawa, picked up by Tsukamoto in left field. Defensively for Japan, Yui Sakamoto is at third, Ishikawa is at short, Hitomi Kawabata at second, Eri Shimoyama is at first. In the outfield, Hotaru Tsukamoto in left, Ayane Nakagawa is in center, Urara Fujimoto is in right field, and catching, Yume Kiriishi. Maxime Van Dalen now. We talked about it yesterday. Every time a runner gets on base in a tournament like this, you have to make something happen. So Beers is on first. Van Dalen at the plate, and she lines one into center field. That's a clean single. Beers will stop at second base. And Netherlands, with 2 hits after 1 out in the first inning, they have 2 on, and Jeanette Oosting coming to the plate. Maxime Van Dalen, that's her 3rd hit in the tournament. First pitch, and she hacked it on a line, barreled it up, and Beers having to move quickly to second base as Nakagane getting that ball in very quickly. So now Jeanette Oosting, 3 for 7, including that big home run yesterday, and a chance for Netherlands to break the ice here against Japan right away. And an off speed from Goto, and that's on the corner. Talked about that yesterday in the game, USA versus Italy, seeing Megan Faraimo, how she was able to throw any pitch at any time to any spot in the strike zone. That's what separates the good from the great. And Goto dropping one in there, and now she goes back to the speed and clips the top edge of the strike zone. Oosting quickly in the hole, 0-2. Oosting Mentioned that home run yesterday. She hit a home run in Valencia also last year. Those are her 2 career home runs in World Cup play. Beers at second, Van Dalen at first, and Oosting is down on strikes, chasing a pitch that looked like it was diving down and away. And Goto makes quick work of Oosting. There are 2 down for Suka van Gerp. That's perfectly located. You see the target set up outside, and we're going to get Brenda Beers will be back to the dugout. The courtesy runner, Jeanette Oosting, will go out there and run for Brenda Beers. The catcher, of course, the 2 outs can be not a pinch run, but a courtesy runner. So Oosting is now at second. Van Dalen is the runner at first. Suka van Gerp, 4 for 6 with 2 doubles and a triple. Stands in there. And the first pitch is off the plate away, ball 1. Van Gerp has gotten the big hits so far. Her triple in the first inning against Puerto Rico changed the complexion of that game. She got a couple of big hits yesterday against Australia. Off speed, and that one is in for a strike. 1-1. Big pitch, big situation right away. Top of the first inning, runners on first and second. And the 1-1 pitch just missed. Trying to slice that outside corner, and Goto turns around, wipes her fingers, and receives the ball back from Yume Kiriishi. 2 balls and a strike to Suka van Gerp. 2 outs, 2 on. Top of the first, no score, just getting started. Off speed and a swing and a miss for strike 2. She's thrown 2 off speed pitches, but they were not the same. That one was the real lollipop. That one was a little slower than the previous. And Van Gerp way out in front, flailing away. So the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Here it comes. Off speed, rolled slowly to short. Kiriishi avoids the base runner, throws to first, and it's in time. Ishikawa, rather, made that play as Oosting was getting down the line. And so good defense from Kyoko Ishikawa, and Netherlands strand 2 base runners. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left at the end of a half inning of play here in Castellons de Strada. It's Netherlands nothing, Japan coming to bat. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.sport. To the bottom of the first inning here in Castellons de Strada. Tim Collins with you. Netherlands failing to score after getting 2 base runners against Miyu Goto. And for Japan, Ayana Nakagawa will lead off. There you see the rest of the lineup. Kyoko Ishikawa, Hotaru Tsukamoto, Eri Shimoyama, Yui Sakamoto, Kanakudo. Give you the rest after the first pitch from Jessie van Alst. That one is in for a strike, 0-1. After Kanakudo, the number 6 hitter, the number 7 hitter is Hitomi Kawabata, 8 Aurora Fujimoto, and 9 Yume Kiriishi. 1 strike from Jessie van Alst, who started yesterday's game against Australia. Off speed is outside and high. Defensively for Netherlands, no change whatsoever. Oosting at third, Vonk at short, Van Gerp at second, Van Dalen at first, Charles, Janssen, and Van der Zanden from left to right in the outfield. The catcher, Brenda Beers. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ayane Nakagawa. And that one drops in nicely at the top of the zone. Nakagawa has a home run in this tournament. And in 2023, she had a couple of triples. She is playing center field in this game. Left-hand hitter, 26 years old. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and a swing and a miss on the off speed from Jessie van Alst. And Nakagawa way out in front to strike out, and immediately has a conversation with Kyoko Ishikawa, probably talking about what to look for. See that pitch, it was a little bit up, but it was just enough away that Nakagawa was not able to get to the bat to it. So now the 28-year-old Kyoko Ishikawa has a triple in this series. She is 4 out of 7. And that pitch was a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. 4 out of 7 with 3 runs scored and a run driven in for Ishikawa. Another left-hand hitter. That one is right through there. 1-1 from Jessie van Alst. Van Alst yesterday, 2 in the third, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks. She endured a lot of traffic on the bases, but somehow came out of the game unscathed. And of course, Netherlands, thanks to the committee effort from their pitching, that pitch hitting the outside corner for strike 2. Netherlands defeating Australia yesterday in a game that was 2-2 until Dinette Oosting hit a home run over the center field fence. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Jessie van Alst. There's a tapper on 1 hop to Oosting at third. Easy play across the diamond for the second out. So far, Van Alst appears to be pitching very differently from how she did yesterday. Obviously, she's not going to knock the bats out of their hands with velocity. She needs to change it up, hit the spots, but just in the first 2 hitters, she has nipped the outside corner a couple of times, and that's already enough to make the hitters chase your pitch. That's what happened on that last one. So now Hotaru Tsukamoto, and the all-important first pitch strike from Jessie van Alst. Tsukamoto is 3 out of 5 with a run batted in and a run scored. 25-year-old. She swings and misses out in front of the off-speed. 0-1. She was trying to pull that ball. You can see she pulled out of the box a little bit on that one. With a slightly open stance, very relaxed hands, the bat resting on the back shoulder. 0-2. Here it comes. And that one's high and away. Van Alst using that fastball to sort of show the hitter something different. All you got to do is keep them just off balance enough, and things can go your way. Very tough offensive team, Japan. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. How about 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 inning for Jessie van Alst? An 8 against the left-hander, who allowed 2 singles but struck out Oosting and retired Van Gerp on a ground ball to get out of the jam. Vissink looks at the first pitch outside off the plate, ball 1. Vissink in the tournament is 1 for 5. She's driven in 2 and scored a run. Very tall right-handed hitter with a slightly open stance, and that pitch is away, ball 2. In 2023 in Valencia, the group stage, Vissink was 4 out of 19 with 5 runs batted in. And back in 2018, she was 5 for 18 with a home run. And an off speed on 2-0, missed for ball 3. Goto. In danger of a leadoff walk. Netherlands, the one thing they've been able to do in both of their games is apply pressure immediately. They've scored first in both games that they've played, and that one is too far inside for ball 4. Netherlands again with a base runner. And now Cindy van der Zanden will come up to the plate. Vissink, in the last 3 World Cup editions, has not attempted a stolen base. Cindy van der Zanden, who likes to bunt and is a very good bunter. Will she be bunting here? Looks like Japan thinks, though, as Sakamoto at third and Shimoyama at first are edging closer to the plate. Van der Zanden is 0 for 7. I think, however, she's going to wait until Goto throws a strike. And that first pitch was outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Vissink, the runner at first. No sign of a bunt from Van der Zanden. I think if Goto throws a strike, then you'll see that. There's the next one. That's way outside, 2-0. And now Kiriishi calls time, along with Sakamoto from third. Kiriishi going to go out to the circle and have a quick chat with Miyu Goto. Now these two teams, I mentioned, they have not played each other in a very long time. In the entire history of the national softball team of Netherlands, they have, according to Seb Visser, who's my contact, so shout out and give credit where credit is due. Thank you very much. I'll tell you after this next pitch. There is a strike, 2-1. Since 1965, Netherlands and Japan have played 27 times. Netherlands has won 6 times, and there was one tie. So obviously Japan, the heavy favorite, and there's no recent history. Off speed on 2-1, and that one is in there. Well, that's a pitch that Goto has thrown a couple of times and been able to get the top of the zone with. So the count is 2-2. Off speed, and Van der Zanden just taps it to first. Shimoyama is able to beat her to the bag as she was hustling down the line. Good job by Cindy to just get the bat to the ball, because that allows Vissink to move to second base. It's not going to go as a sacrifice, but it has the same effect. Excellent bat control right there. It's going to go 3 unassisted, but now Netherlands has a runner in scoring position for the second straight inning. Annemiek Jansen, 0 for 6. Boy, what a time for her first hit it would be for Netherlands if she could drive home Laura Vissink. And the pitch is high and away. You have Demisha Charles, who is 2 out of 6 on deck. Charles has come up big in this tournament so far. Annemiek Jansen, the center fielder. 1-0 pitch. Fouled away late on that inside rise ball. I believe it was in on her hands. Very tough to react. Goto changes speeds to great effect. And her pitches have a lot of movement. There you see Jansen. She is 0 for 6 in Valencia. She was 1 for 9, but that one hit drove in a run, and then she also scored. So she got a timely hit, looking to try to get another one here with Vissink on second base and only 1 out. 1-1 pitch. Fouled away, and the count 1-2. Those last 2 pitches inside have been up in the kitchen of Jansen. I think Goto is going to stay in that location, unless she decides to throw something off speed down and away to get a chase. Goto, early in this game, she's had to use all of her repertoire, I believe. There's the 1-2 pitch coming to Annemiek Jansen. Just missed that inside corner. And the count even, 2-2. Boy, some close pitches. And she went with, again, trying to bust Jansen in with hard stuff. Jansen laid off the 2-2. Check swing, and they will appeal. No swing. The ball was inside for ball 3. And Jansen showing a good eye, unable to get the swing. Goto, full count. Demisha Charles is on deck. And ball 4 is inside. What an at-bat by Annemiek Jansen. Goto not missing by much, but just enough. And Netherlands for the second straight inning with runners on first and second and 1 out. And Demisha Charles, who is 2 for 6 in the 2 previous games. Right-hand hitter, she stands as close to the box, as close to the plate as you can. Her back foot is actually on the corner of the batter's box. Off speed, fouled away. Out in front. With Goto, you really have no idea what pitch she's going to throw. She's been throwing the off speed in 2-0 counts. They're starting the at-bat. You know she's got good velocity, so you have to be ready. And Charles was off balance. Now she's closed her stance a little bit, and she moves her back foot actually a little bit closer. She shows bunt and gets down the first base line. It rolls foul. That would have been a perfect bunt had it not just spun to the right. Only about 1.5 meters or so up the first base line, and now Charles in the hole, 0-2. Not a bad idea with the top of the order, Vonk on deck. Charles, now she's got her back foot all the way to the back of the batter's box again with 2 strikes. 0-2, runners leading on first and second, Vissink and Van der Zanden. 1 out. Just missed the inside corner. Goto, a little bit of a smile, but she has thrown some really quality pitches with 2 strikes that have not been called strikes. And that's okay because they still serve the effect of changing the expectation on the next pitch. 1-2. Charles not budging from the upper part of that batter's box. She is crouched. There's a roller foul, somehow getting the barrel of the bat to the ball on that inside pitch. You know, when the hitter stands that close to the plate, they're basically daring the pitcher to come in there. Obviously, there's a risk of hitting the batter, but Goto, she is just trying to bury it right in on the hands of Charles. Charles able to fight that one off. 1-2. And she tried to go outside and missed that time. Boy, Netherlands so far in this game, they are having good at-bats. And we talked about yesterday and the day before, these short tournaments where it's an entire season packed into a day, you just got to take it 1 pitch at a time, 1 at-bat at a time. The 2-2, off speed, just a little bit high, and the count is now full. Goto shakes her head a little bit. Boy, she's not missing by much, and you got to give credit to the Dutch hitters for being able to lay off these pitches. Goto asking for time, wiping the sweat off of her forehead with her sleeve. Vissink walked on 4 pitches, but Janssen battled and took a bunch of close pitches to draw a walk. Now Charles has a full count after taking a few really close ones. Netherlands with 2 on and 1 out. Big pitch coming right now. Fouled away. This is the beauty of this sport. You have a moment like this and you can see the intensity of the competitiveness from the pitcher, the hitter, everybody behind them. And when you have a 3-2 count after a couple of close pitches and some tough foul balls, and another quality pitch is fouled away, the more that happens, the higher the tension rises. Meanwhile, Charles might have jammed her wrist on that. She's flexing her right hand. Was off over in the dugout being attended to and checked on. But now she's ready. Now she's wiped away the entirety of the batter's box line. We don't need that anymore. That was gone by about the first inning, end of the first inning yesterday as well. Standing all the way at the back where she started. Full count, runners on first and second, and 1 out. We're in the second inning, no score. Strike 3 is called on the inside corner. Goto finally nails that target she had been trying to get the entire time. And that's the second out. That's a big pitch from you, Goto. Still a great at bat for Charles, and she's going to get congratulations from her teammate. Look at that, right to the mitt, Kiri Ishii, borderline, but it had good movement. And Goto gets the call, and now Vonk with 2 on and 2 out. Vonk grounded out to start the game. Off speed, and that one misses away. Vonk also worked the count full in her first at bat, and then hit a 1-hopper to the second baseman Kawabata. Vissink is at second, Van der Zanden at first. 1-0 to Britt Vonk. A little fly ball to right field. This is going to hang up in the air for Fujimoto, who puts it away. She was positioned perfectly, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So Vonk flies out, but for the 2nd straight time, Netherlands threatens. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left at the end of 1.5 innings of play. It is Netherlands nothing, Japan nothing. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport. Bottom of the second inning coming up. Netherlands nothing, Japan nothing. Jessie van Alst back into the circle. She had 2 strikeouts and a ground out in her 1-2-3 first inning. So now Eri Shimoyama, Yui Sakamoto, and Kana Kudo. 4, 5, and 6. First pitch is low and outside from Jessie van Alst to Eri Shimoyama, 26 years old, 2 out of 5 with 2 runs scored and a run batted in the tournament. She's the first right-handed hitter in the Japan lineup. And she hits a fly ball to shallow center field. Annemiek Janssen coming in and makes the catch. So there's one away, and that will bring up Yui Sakamoto. Sakamoto in the tournament, 3 for 5. She's got 2 runs batted in, including a double. She's also been hit by a pitch. 28-year-old third baseman showing bunt. Corner infielder's not totally convinced. And she pulls the bat back and swings away to drive one to right field. Van der Zanden goes back, gets turned around, and makes the catch. Good concentration by Cindy Van der Zanden. She first turned to her right, then had to regroup and go back towards her left as that ball was slicing away from her. But the important part for Netherlands is that she pulled it down for out number 2. Japan is a team that you cannot make a single mistake against because they will take advantage of it. Kana Kudo, the designated player, left-handed hitter with power, and the pitch is a ball. Kudo is 0 for 2 in this tournament, but in Valencia she was 9 for 19. Not in Valencia, excuse me, in 2023. Japan was playing, I believe, in the Italy group. So she was in this very field. That's an off-speed pitch, just missed 2-0. Had some nice arc to it, though, from Jessie van Alst. Kudo in Italy last summer, 9 for 19 with a home run and 2 doubles, including 5 runs batted in. So she's hit the ball out of this very ballpark before. There's an off-speed. That one's in there for a strike. Jessie van Alst. She's trying to get you looking up and down and change your expectation of the velocity. That's the way she's going to get you out. Weak contact is what she's looking for. And for her to be effective, she needs to limit base runners, and that means no walks. But right now she's behind 3-1. But so far, the early going, she looks like a completely different pitcher as to yesterday. Yesterday was walking the tightrope. There's a fly ball to center field right at Annemiek Janssen for the 3rd out. So 6 up and 6 down against Jessie van Alst. Very quickly through the second inning. We go to the 3rd. No score. Netherlands and Japan. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport. Top of the 3rd inning coming up here in Castellons de Strada. Tim Collins with you for this morning game. Of course, there's 3 more games today in the 3rd day of the opening stage of the Women's Softball World Cup. This one right now is scoreless. Netherlands and Japan, and it's going to be 2, 3, and 4. Brenda Beers, Maxime van Dalen, and Dinette Oosting against Miyu Goto. And Beers slaps one into center field for a base hit. Beers is 2 for 2. That's the third hit allowed by Goto. This is, you can really tell Netherlands came into this game with a clear game plan. They're not swinging for the fences. They're just looking to get some base hits. They've been successful getting base runners with 2 each in the first and second. Now a leadoff runner in the third, Maxime van Dalen, who hit a line drive single her first time on the first pitch she saw. And now that's an off speed, down and in. 1 ball and no strikes to Maxime. Maxime now 3 out of 7 in the 3 games so far this week. Beers on first base. And that pitch is inside, 2-0. Goto has been falling behind. Very uncharacteristic. She's walked 2. Netherlands has been applying pressure. And that one missed high. And Goto not pleased with that, and she turns and walks back to the edge of the circle with a little smile on her face. That's about as much emotion as you're allowed to display from the circle. 3 balls and no strikes to Maxime van Dalen. She will be taking here, I'm pretty sure. And that one is a strike on the outside edge of the knees. Now van Dalen will be swinging away. Beers at first. And that's outside, ball 4, the third consecutive inning that Netherlands have runners on first and second. The difference here is that now there's nobody out. And the question is, what will Dinette Oosting do? She's been the stalwart power hitter for Netherlands the past year and a half in these World Cup tournaments, but this could be a potential bunting situation right now. Against Dinette Oosting. Sakamoto at third and Shimoyama at first. They're edging towards the plate, but I don't think they're expecting a bunt from Oosting, who homered yesterday. She shows bunt, however, and gets down a good one, fielded by Shimoyama. The only play is to first, and Oosting pumping her fists as she has moved the runners along with a sacrifice. 1 away. And now Suke van Herp, who has been in the middle of a lot of run scoring for the Netherlands in the past 2 days. See how excited Oosting was after laying down that perfect bunt. So now Van Herp, who grounded out. Infield is in. They will try to cut off the run at the plate. And the first pitch is a strike from Sakura Miwa. Beers is at third, Van Dalen at second. Of course, Kiri Ishii, the catcher, wants to make sure nothing gets past her. Sakura Miwa deals 1 strike to Suke van Herp. Off speed, line drive, base hit into center field. in to score Beers. They will hold Van Dalen at third, and the Netherlands lead 1-0. Suke van Gerp again driving home a run, and the Netherlands, for the third straight game, take a early lead, and that's the first run scored against Japan in this tournament. So now Netherlands looking to get more out of this. Laura Vissink, who walked. The infield is going to stay in, even with a runner at first and one out. They're not going to go for a double play. So what do you do if you're Ferenc Yongyan? Do you go for a squeeze bunt of some kind here? Japan is going to throw the ball home. There's a blast foul off the bat of Vissink as she turned on an off-speed pitch from Sakura Miwa. That's the first hit against Miwa in this tournament. Netherlands leading 1-0. Van Dalen at third, Van Gerp is at first. And that one is a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Laura Vissink. Only 1 out in the inning. There's the 1-1 pitch. A little blooper out to short center field. That is going to drop over the drawn-in infield. A base hit for Laura Vissink. In to score Maxime Van Dalen, and the Netherlands lead 2-0. And when you go back and look at the history between these two teams, every time Netherlands has played Japan, they've been shut out. They were shut out in 2010 in a warm-up game. They were shut out in the Olympics in 2008. The last time before that they had played in the Olympics was 1996, and they were shut out then. Well, now Netherlands has a 2-0 lead. So the first runs in decades for the Netherlands against Japan. And Cindy van der Zanden going to try to keep the line moving. Van Gerp at second, Vissink at first. Still nobody out. Van der Zanden, an excellent bunter. Infield is back. Let's see what she's going to do. She does not have a hit in this tournament yet. And she looks at a strike on the first one at the top of the zone. 0-1. Well, so far, Netherlands, they've been underdogs in every game, and they have answered the call. There's a swing and a foul. 0-2 on Van der Zanden. Leading 2-0. And Japan, of course, Reika Utsugi, the coach, coming in the opening press conference. They were talking about how pitching and defense and speed was going to be their strength. Well, don't forget, they still can hit the ball out of the ballpark. We saw Ayana Nakagawa hit one against Puerto Rico. And so even when they say speed and defense is their strength, they still have some firepower. 0-2, line drive up the middle. That's a base hit. Van Gerp is being waved around. Here's the throw to the plate. She is safe. 3-0 Netherlands on the RBI single. The first hit of the tournament for Cindy van der Zanden. It was an off-speed pitch, and she waited and just served it. And that's twice in a row that the shallow infield has burned Japan. And it's Suke van Gerp with a good slide. And I wonder if we maybe are going to have either a video review or some changes. It looks like some changes as Reiko Utsuga is making a change, and it's going to be the legend Yukiko Weno is going to come out of the dugout and into the circle. Weno was with the team in Beijing when the Netherlands last faced Japan in the Olympics, and so the Japanese pitching legend is going to come out of the dugout and get her first action in this tournament. Netherlands leading 3-0, stunning Japan, and probably a lot of people watching at this moment. Still a lot of game to go left, however, of course. But Cindy van der Zanden, Laura Vissink, Suke van Gerp, and of course it was all started this inning by Brenda Beers. Netherlands applying pressure. They had 2 runners on in the first, 2 runners on in the second, couldn't come through, and now obviously they had the approach that they were going to just try to put the ball in play. They're not going to swing hard, just make contact, try to wait back on those off-speed pitches. And Cindy van der Zanden with her base hit knocking Sakura Miwa out of the game. Miwa gets only 1 out. There's still only 1 out in this inning. So Weno, who is softball royalty, she's still 41. She's going to turn 42 next week. And when we talk about Reiko Itsuga not wanting to be on the losing end of a walk-off, it's because of that 2018 walk-off against the USA. In that game, Weno pitched all 10 innings, and earlier the same day pitched a complete game shutout over Canada just to help Japan make it that far. Well, now she's trying to stop the bleeding. Runners on first and second. Annemiek Janssen, who walked her first time, swings and misses right now, and it's 0-1. Yukiko Weno threw the first perfect game in Olympics history. That was back in 2004 in Athens. Trying to get out of this inning. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2. Annemiek Janssen walked her first time. That was an indicator of the strategy Netherlands has taken in this game. Check swing on a pitch up. Did she go around? No, says the third base umpire, Thomas Lohnert. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Netherlands have scored 3 runs in this inning. Visick and Van der Zanden still on base. There's only 1 out. Swing and a miss. Now there are 2 outs as Weno makes quick work of Janssen. And now Demisha Charles, who struck out but had a really good at bat her first time.
Number 16, Demisha Charles.
Charles 2 out of 7 after that strikeout. She's at the back of the box again against Yukiko Weno. And a half swing, didn't mean to, fouls it away, strike 1. Meanwhile, on the other side for Japan, they have been set down 6 hitters in a row from Jessie van Alst, who's been twirling it up there and changing speeds. Has 2 strikeouts through 2 innings. Charles with a 1-strike count. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes. Weno not messing around. Oh, 0-2 to Charles. And she stays alive. She fouled away a couple of good pitches her last at bat. She's shown an excellent 2-strike approach, shortening up a little bit. Trying to wait long enough to see if she can recognize the pitch. 0-2 in a tough spot. And Weno's pitch. Tried to paint the outside corner and missed. 1-2. Miyu Goto started. 2 of those runs are charged on her account. 1 is on Miwa. The 2 base runners are also Miwa's responsibility. 1-2. And now Charles takes another close pitch. This is a replica of what she did in her last at bat, taking some borderline pitches. That is a skill, laying off those close ones. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Demisha Charles. Fouled away again. Charles got a big hit in the game against Puerto Rico. Excuse me, against, yes, that was against Puerto Rico. She got a double to drive home a run in the 4th inning. Infield and outfield are straight away. They're playing a lot deeper than they were before. 2-2 on Charles. Fouled away again. That's the 3rd one this at bat. She had 2 or 3 her last at bat. I told you she had an excellent at bat, even though it ended in a strikeout. Even if that happens here, she's done the same thing. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, 3-0 Netherlands. Off speed and called strike 3. As Weno comes in to strike out the final 2 hitters. But Netherlands send 8 batters to the plate. They get 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 2 left on base. Netherlands 3, Japan nothing at the end of 2.5 innings of play. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.sport. To the bottom of the 3rd inning, Netherlands 3, Japan nothing. And for Japan, it will be 7-8-9. They have not had a base runner yet against Jessie van Alst. So Hitomi Kawabata, Urara Fujimoto, and Yume Kiriishi scheduled hitters this inning. And an attempted bunt. That pitch is a strike as Kawabata offered at the pitch. Kawabata is 0 for 6 in the tournament this week. Left-hand hitter with that slightly open stance, and the pitch off speed, high fly ball to left field. Demisha Charles is camped underneath it, and that's out number 1. But if you're Jessie van Alst, the more quick outs like that you get, nice lazy fly ball, the better you feel. Netherlands, they have been flying high. They feel like everything's going their way, and to some extent it really has been that way. There have been some close plays, but they've been able to make the plays. When you think about the game yesterday against Australia, there were so many back and forth moments. And the pitch to Uraro Fujimoto is a ball, a little bit inside. Fujimoto is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. She has not made an out yet. Shows bunt, pulls it back, swings, and hits a little roller. Van Alst fields. Van Gurt covering and dropped the ball as Fujimoto slid in. Not sure if she would have had that beat or not, but once the ball was dropped, it was a moot point. So Fujimoto is aboard. Let's see how that's going to be scored, excuse me. And Japan has their first base runner. And now Yume Kiriishi, the catcher, 25 years of age. The number 9 hitter, right-hand hitter, standing in there. She's 2 for 4 with a run scored in the tournament. And a strike called on the first pitch. Jessie van Alst. Now with the runner at first, Fujimoto. And that pitch is away for ball 1. Still awaiting the scoring on that play, whether it's a base hit or an error. I'll let you know as soon as I find out. But Japan now with a base runner. This is their turn to try and mount a comeback after having given up 3 runs. Next one. That's on the inside corner. The throw to second base with the runner going, not in time. So Fujimoto steals second. Fujimoto, by the way, had reached on an E4, so that is indeed an error on Suke van Gurp. The reason I was unsure is because from my vantage point, I couldn't tell if she had the play beat or not. And now, after the error, Fujimoto steals second base, and there's a run at second base for Japan, and a good block by Brenda Beers on a pitch that rolled in. Mentioned before, you cannot make any mistakes. Well, there was one mistake, and now Japan has turned it into a runner in scoring position. And Beers right there prevented another one that could have put Fujimoto at third. 2-2 on Yume Kiriishi. And a little roller back to the circle. She'll go to first for the out. Had thought maybe for a moment about trying to go to third, but good base running by Fujimoto. She was off at the contact. And so there are two down, a runner at third, and now Ayane Nakagawa will get her second look at Jessie van Alst. There you see Fujimoto making her way to third. It was very good base running. She read the type of swing it was and knew that it was a slow ground ball and she'd be able to make it to third. Nakagawa with a one-hopper to Van Dalen, who steps on first, and the inning is over. Netherlands eludes the base runner. No runs, no hits, one error, one left. And at the end of three, it's Netherlands 3, Japan nothing. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on Game Time Sport. And now there's going to be a 3-minute strata. It is 3-0 Netherlands as we go to the top of the fourth inning. Top of the order, Britt Vonk against Yukiko Weno, the third pitcher of the afternoon. Well, it's now the afternoon. It's almost the afternoon, everybody, for Japan. And that pitch was high for a ball. This game was started by Miyu Goto. She struggled. A lot of base runners. Sakura Miwa came in. And then Yukiko Ueno had to come in and stop the bleeding after Netherlands scored 3 runs on 4 hits in the third inning. Netherlands have stranded 6 base runners through the first 3 innings. And Vonk takes one on the inside corner to make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Vonk, Brenda Beers, and Maxime Van Dalen. Vonk is 0 for 2, 0 for 6 in the tournament, but she has scored those 2 runs I mentioned. And the pitch. Check swing, it's upstairs. They're going to appeal. No swing, says Thomas Lohnert. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2. That's upstairs, ball 3. The Netherlands, they upset Puerto Rico. A slight upset, I guess, of Australia. I mean, they've been the underdogs in their first 2 games. Vonk swings and misses. Weno has struck out all 3 hitters she's faced. So right now, they're leading Japan 3-0. This is the first time Japan has been scored on in this tournament, as you see Vonk late on that offering from Yukiko Ueno. So now Brenda Beers. Beers got the shenanigans started for Netherlands in the third inning with a leadoff single. And she runs up on that pitch. And it's up high. 1-0. Netherlands in the first inning got 2 on with 1 out. In the second inning, they got 2 on with 1 out. In both of those frames, they could not score. Swing and a miss, 1-1. In the third inning, it was the leadoff base runners that helped them. Brenda Beers singled, hit a little bloop. Maxime Van Dalen took a walk, and then Oosting laid down a perfect bunt. There's a check swing. They're going to appeal. Nope, no swing. She did not go around. 2 balls and 1 strike. Oosting's bunt really set up that inning. Suke van Gurk with a single, then Laura Vissink with a single, Cindy van der Zanden with a single. And that's 3 runs for Netherlands. And that one is high. 3 balls and a strike. Weno had to come in as Sakura Miwa, the only batter she retired, was Oosting on the sacrifice bunt. And she gave up those 3 consecutive singles. And Weno came in and struck out the final 2 hitters to end that inning. And a check swing foul ball, and Beers now has a full count. That's a tough pitch on a 3-1 to get an off-speed pitch like that. Weno is not going to give you anything to hit, ever, even if it's a hitting count. And you see the Netherlands looking on, wearing the light blue uniforms with the orange. There's a foul. Weno that time coming right after Beers. And Beers shortening up that swing, able to fight it off. Infield is straight away. Outfield is pretty deep in center field. That's Nakagawa. 3-2 from Yukiko Ueno. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts for the Japanese legend. 3 swinging and 1 looking. And now Maxime Van Dalen will have the pleasure of taking her spot in the batter's box against Weno. Watch that powerful delivery. It's so simple, and she's got a lot of spin on the ball. You can see that release point with her hand. Maxime Van Dalen has singled and walked and scored, and that one's up and in. She spins out of the way. One ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. For Jessie Van Alst, she's been very effective. Basically the complete opposite of how Weno or Goto or Miwa pitch. Van Alst is up there throwing the kitchen sink. There's the pitch low, 2 balls and a strike. But it's been effective, at least the first time through the order. Japan only has 1 base runner, and that was on an error. 2-1 to Maxime Van Dalen. And an off-speed pitch, waved at and missed. The release point is exactly the same every time. It's so tough to read as a hitter. Here's the 2-2. And it was another version of that same pitch, not quite as slow. Van Dalen, you can see she's just trying to drag the bat through the zone to fight it off somehow. And that's exactly what happened. The count's still 2-2. Weno is ready, starts the motion, and here it comes. A ground ball to the right side, fielded by Kawabata. The throw to Shimoyama is in time, and the inning's over. 1-2-3 for Japan and Yukiko Weno. No runs, no hits, no errors. That's the first time Netherlands has been retired in order in this game. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here in Castellons de Strada. Netherlands 3, Japan nothing. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.sport.
Il nostro futuro dipende dalle scelte che facciamo oggi, da come produciamo e utilizziamo l'energia ogni giorno. Perciò è necessario cambiare. Noi ci crediamo da più di 130 anni. Siamo la più antica azienda elettrica d'Europa. È giorno per giorno che vediamo se stiamo facendo bene il nostro lavoro. Se davvero stiamo cambiando le cose. Noi ci crediamo e lo facciamo. Diventiamo l'energia che cambia tutto, per costruire insieme un futuro di energia sostenibile.
Edison is the energy and social responsibility partner of the WSC Women's Softball World Cup 2024 tournament, and also presents the award of the most valuable player for each game. Stay tuned until the end of the game to find out who will be.
We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Tim Collins with you here in Castellons de Strada. Hope you're enjoying your day wherever you may be. We're having a blast with this one. Netherlands leading Japan 3-0. Both of these teams undefeated so far, and the benefit to winning this game is getting home field advantage for the super round. So Kyoko Ishikawa against Jessie Van Alst, out there for her 4th inning of work. Pitches outside for a ball. Van Alst has allowed only the 1 base runner. That was on the error from Suka van Gerp. Ishikawa grounded to 3rd her first time. 0-1, off speed. That one is in for a strike. Van Alst has used that pitch very well today. It seemed like yesterday when she tried to throw it, every time it was out of the strike zone. Today, every time she throws it, it's been in for a strike, and Japan has taken it because they've either been looking for something else or they've been caught off balance. This one is outside. 2-1. Ishikawa, with her first at bat today, is 4 out of 8 in the tournament with a home run. Excuse me, a triple. 2-1. And that one is upstairs, ball 3. Japan would love to get a base runner to start this inning. So far it's been Netherlands always applying pressure with base runners. Japan only having that 1 after the error with 1 out last inning. She did make it to 3rd. There's a liner knocked down by Van Alst, picked up by Oosting. Throw to 1st is not in time. And Van Alst almost caught it. She caught one of those yesterday. Or maybe that was Merckx who caught that. At any rate, she looks frustrated that she didn't make the play. Watch this. It's hard to get that glove up in time when it's hit so hard right back at you. Osting with a good play to just get it over to first base, but Kyoko Ishikawa is too fast. So there's the first base hit for Japan. Second base runner. And Hotaru Tsukamoto, who struck out, looks at a ball high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Ishikawa has attempted 1 steal this tournament, and she was successful. Looking down for the signs from Utsuga in the third base coach position. Hotaru Tsukamoto from the left side. 1 ball, no strikes. The runner's going. The pitch is a strike. The throw is not in time. It gets away from Vonk. So a stolen base, the second one in the game for Japan. Well, they said pitching and defense was going to be their go-to game plan with speed as well. And both base runners they've had have stolen a base in this game. Fujimoto in the third, and now Ishikawa here in the fourth. And the count is 1-1 on Hotaru Tsukamoto. And now it's 1-2 as that one catches the outside edge. Ishikawa, good speed obviously on second base, and now time is called. Tsukamoto wants to know what the count is, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Meanwhile, Jessie Van Alst goes to the rosin. Now she's on the pitcher's plate. Here it comes. In the dirt, this one gets through Beers. Moving to third is Ishikawa. And that will be a wild pitch. Beers looked like she went down to try to block that one, and it somehow got to the side of her glove and between the legs and went to the backstop. And Ishikawa easily moving to third. Now Japan with a 2-2 count on Tsukamoto. You know, she just wants to put the ball in play. Netherlands are going to give up a run on a ground ball hit up the middle as Vonk and Charles are playing back. 2-2. There's a foul. I think I said Charles. It's Van Gerp at second. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that one missed inside for ball 3. Well, Van Alst now a pitch away from bringing the tying run to the plate in the cleanup hitter, Eri Shimoyama. Ishikawa is on third. There's nobody out. A 3-2 pitch. Line drive, that's going to go foul down the left field line. Barreled up nicely by Tsukamoto. Just sort of flipping the bat head out there. There'll be another payoff pitch from Jessie Van Alst to Hotaru Tsukamoto. A ground ball to first. Van Dalen looks the runner back and is going to run towards Tsukamoto and tag her out. That was a heads-up play by Maxime Van Dalen to prevent the run from scoring. Just because it was the ground ball infield being played back doesn't mean you're going to automatically give up that run if you get one hit right at you, and that's exactly what Van Dalen did. And so there's one away, and Eri Shimoyama now will step up to the plate. Ishikawa still on third base. Van Alst would love another one of those ground balls. This one is off the inside corner. Ball 1. Shimoyama flied to center field her first time. And an off speed. That one drops in beautifully. 1 ball, 1 strike. To Eri Shimoyama. Jessie Van Alst go into that rosin. It's hot again today, of course. 32 degrees Celsius. That's about 90 Fahrenheit. The 1-1. That one missed low. 2 balls and a strike. Kyoko Ishikawa, she singled, stole second, went to third on a wild pitch. Had to stay put on that ground ball by Tsukamoto. And now Eri Shimoyama trying to get the run home for Japan. Netherlands leading 3-0. There's a ground ball Hit sharply, but foul, and that's strike two. Well, Japan, they've had some solid contact in this game, but they've all been foul balls. They've had a few hard ground balls right at Netherlands infielders. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Eri Shimoyama. And Van Alst rocks and deals. That's outside. Another full count. This game has been teeter-tottering on those full counts for the Netherlands. They've had a number of them. And in the case of Miyu Goto, she walked a few batters. Van Alst retiring the last. And this one is upstairs for ball 4. And so Shimoyama will take first base. And now Yui Sakamoto will step up to the plate representing the tying run. 3 out of 6 in the tournament with a double. And a quick high five from Dinette Oosting at the back of the circle for Jessie Van Alst. You know, Netherlands, yes, they're winning this game, and it's a big game, and Japan is a tough opponent, but they're loose. They're already through the super round. They've achieved their goal that they set for themselves. And so with a game like this, you can kind of relax a bit, even though you know it's a tough opponent, and yes, you want to win. They're going to play hard. But in some ways, there's a lot less pressure on them to win this game. For Japan, they're also through to the super round, but I mentioned, you know, having lost some heartbreaking walk-offs in the past, they want that home field advantage for the super round. That pitch catches the outside corner for a strike, 1-1 to Yui Sakamoto. First and third, Shimoyama, I bet she might take off at some point. There's 1 out. They might try to do that first and third running play. Let's see what happens. Pitch is high. So far, no activity. 2 balls and a strike. Of course, Van Alst has to keep throwing strikes to make any of that relevant. Shimoyama has not attempted any steals as of yet this week. Tsukamoto, good speed on third. And this one is upstairs for ball 3. Excuse me, that's Ishikawa on third base. And Van Alst now running into some trouble. Second time through the lineup. She's allowed a single, a walk, and behind Sakamoto 3-1. And here it comes. And there's a strike called on the inside corner. And the count is now full. Third consecutive full count. She got 1 out, walked 1. And let's see what happens to this one with Ishikawa on third, Shimoyama on first, 3-2 to Sakamoto. And she struck her out with the off-speed pitch. 2 outs in the inning. A huge pitch for Jessie Van Alst. And that's what I'm talking about. When you play a game like this, normally when you play Japan, your heart is going to be up in your throat. But if you already know you're through to the next round, you just relax, throw your best stuff out there, see what happens. And sometimes things go your way. So far, that's how it's felt for Netherlands, but they're not through this inning yet. Kanakudo, designated player, a lot of power, still representing the tying run at the plate. And that pitch is high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Van Alst has been throwing everything, including the kitchen sink up there. And so far, she's been able to live with it. 1 ball and no strikes on Kudo, who flied to center field her first time. And that's a strike. The runner was going to throw through, and they're going to try to get the run down. The tag is applied. However, Ishikawa scored before that out was recorded, and Japan gets a run, but I think Netherlands will be very happy with that. They had the tying run at the plate, decided to do the running play instead. So Ishikawa scores, and Shimoyama is thrown out 2-6 for the 3rd out of the inning. And Japan electing to settle for just the 1 run. They get 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1/5 inning. It is 3-1 Netherlands over Japan, and Dinette Oosting will get her first look at Yukiko Weno. There's a line drive into center field for a base hit. Oosting, who had that sacrifice bunt her last time up, had a big home run yesterday, and now she leads off this inning with a single. I'm looking at the official scoring, and they're saying that run did not score. Can that be? It's a time play in that case. And there's a bunt anyway off the bat of Van Gert. They'll go to second. One. The throw to first is in time. A double play. That was quickly turned by Weno. And Netherlands quickly 2 outs. But I am very curious about that. And if that's the case, I'm wondering why there was no replay review. I wonder if Japan even realizes that. And now I think we might have a review on the something, or is there going to be a yeah, there's going to be a replay review. Let's see what it's going to be about.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and I think yeah, Reika Utsugi is asking about the run having scored. That's exactly what she's asking about. I think Utsugi didn't realize that they hadn't put the run up on the board, and how should she be able to? The scoring doesn't officially update for more than that 30 seconds of allotted time. I think they're going to review this. I mean, I have a clear view of it. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. As it was, this is on the running play with first and third, and Utsugi is pointing to the scoreboard. She's saying, hey, we need a run. We got to run that last inning. And, you know, this is exactly what the replay review is for. And I'll update you as we get the official word what the replay is going to be. But I'm pretty sure that's what Utsugi was asking about. That play with Ishikawa on third base and Eri Shimoyama on first. Shimoyama took off and got into a rundown before she was tagged out for the third out. Ishikawa crossed the plate, and it wasn't particularly close. And Utsugi out there, I think it was to the point that Japan, they didn't even think to look for the replay because they just assumed. And obviously I was waiting for it on the official scoring as well. And the official scoring, it takes a minute to update before I see. And Reika Utsugi asking the same question.
The call is overturned. The runner at first base is safe. The out at second counts. 1 out runner at first is the situation.
Score is 3-0. And Laura Vissink, by Netherlands, they got to feel like they're flying high right now. Everything is going their way. That's a huge play. There's a strike called. Well, strange things happened. We saw a home run get removed after a base runner had been off the base too early. No balls and 2 strikes. That's the, you know, with video review, it always introduces new challenges that you never saw coming. There's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Weno makes quick work of Vissink. And, you know, Reika Utsugi, she made her case. And if that's not how the umpire saw it, then that's how it's going to stand. I'm not sure what the explanation was. And certainly not going to question their judgment. They are very experienced out there. The pitch is fouled away to Cindy van der Zanden, who got a huge hit, her first hit of the tournament, with that 1-out RBI single off of Miwa that knocked Miwa from the game. But Reika Utsugi, her demeanor is one of confidence. A lot of other coaches would be yelling and screaming and kicking dirt. Utsugi showing confidence. She thinks that her team can come back, whether it's 3-1 or 3-0. But now that decision to send the runner when you're tying, run is at the plate in a power hitter. They thought they would get a run out of it. It turns out they did not, and they also wasted an opportunity for some crooked numbers in so doing. Van der Zanden chops one to the right side on 2 bounces to Kawabata, who plays it to Shimoyama at first, and the inning is over. A very interesting game it's been so far. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 3-0 Netherlands. And this is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be aware while sitting for long periods in the sun to drink plenty of fluids, wear a hat, and don't forget to put on sunscreen. Dehydrated is the main priority today for your health and safety. Thank you. Signore e signori, vi ricordiamo che a causa delle alte temperature è raccomandato bere tanti liquidi, indossare un cappello, usare la crema solare. Restare idratati è la priorità massima per la vostra salute e sicurezza quest'oggi. Grazie.
To the bottom of the 5th inning. Japan coming to bat, and Kanakudo will start over again against Jessie van Alst. No changes for Netherlands. And they lead this game 3-0. And a good point was made in between innings. You know, we saw in that game against Italy, China, they were watching everything, and they called for the review immediately on that home run off the bat of Erika Piancastelli. As this pitch is low to Kudo, 1-1. And because too much time had passed, there's no way to review that play. And Marnie Cavallo ruled that the run did not cross the plate before the tag was applied. Now, I'm looking in all kinds of different ways, so there's no way I can be sure what I saw either, to be perfectly fair. There's a ground ball to the right side. Van Gerp on 2 hops, throws to first in time, 1 down.
Grounds out to second base and is the first out of the inning.
And you got to give credit where credit is due when not the same situation, but when a very, very important possible replay review situation happened in the China-Italy game. The Chinese coaches were all over it. Utsugi missed this one, and because of it, Japan has lost a run, or potentially lost a run. And Hitomi Kawabata up there. It is the 5th inning now. Netherlands leading 3-0. And a half swing popped up left side. Britt Vonk makes the catch for the second out.
Kawabata pops out to shortstop. That is the second out of the inning.
Just want to make the point also that replay review, this is the first year it's ever happened. And boy, there's been some dandies that have been looked at, a lot of things that have been looked at, and some very consequential turns of event as a result. And that's what happens. That's the modern version of the game, and it's great that we get to see that at this top level of softball as Urara Fujimoto tries to bunt, takes a strike. And so 2 outs, nobody on. And suddenly you look up and we're in the later innings of this game. Jessie van Alst pitching a shutout, a 1-hit shutout against Japan. That pitch is high. You could also question the decision to have Shimoyama running at all in that 4th inning. Pitch is high, 2-1. In every game, there are so many little things that go into the final outcome that you can never point to one big thing, no matter how much of a reaction it might get at the time. Even a walk-off home run. To be in the position to hit one, you have to have done a bunch of other things to get there earlier in the game. And the entire game is just a butterfly effect, building on each event, building on the prior, as van Alst pours that strike in there. And so that's just another notch in the belts of Netherlands in terms of, boy, things sure seem to be going their way this week. And they have played very well. There's a line drive over the leap of Oosting into left field for a base hit. Charles up with it and fires it back into Van Gerp and holds Fujimoto to a single. So there's the second hit and the fourth base runner of the now afternoon for Japan. This game started at 11 o'clock, now pushing 12:30 local time. Next game coming up, USA versus China. That's at 2 in the afternoon. I'll be with you along with Amanda Palmer for that one. But right now, this one, all eyes are here. Netherlands and Japan. Yume Kiriishi. Japan needs a big hit. They got to do something to get their energy going. And Kiriishi looks at an off-speed pitch low. They seem to be a little bit on their heels. Miyu Goto didn't quite have it working. Sakura Miwa gave up 3 straight hits. Meanwhile, Netherlands have been playing solid defense. They've been getting big hits. 1-0 pitch. There's a wave and a miss. Yume Kiriishi took the early bus on that one. She was 10 minutes too early. 1-1. Jessie van Alst has been dandalizing. Tantalizing, whatever the word is. Throwing dandelions up there. And the bunt is shown and pulled back. Pitch low and away. 2-1. Fujimoto is on first. Well, if Japan loses this game, they will look to that fourth inning as an obvious turning point. Netherlands with their runs in the top of the third. And there's a bunt. This one is bunted and missed. The throw to second base not in time. It's a strike, but another stolen base.
Stolen base for Fujimoto.
So Japan 3 out of 4 in stolen base attempts in this game. Of course, the one caught stealing is a very important one. Fujimoto with a steal. She's got 2. She reached on the error and stole her last at bat. She made it all the way to third, but was stranded there. 2-2 to Yume Kiriishi. And the pitch. Off speed is high. Full count. Jessie van Alst. Not really a lot of stress in this game. The 2 hits and 1 walk. She struck out 3. And that pitch is high for ball 4. And that is the second walk issued by Jessie van Alst. And there's going to be some movement in the Netherlands bullpen. Marjolein Merks is going over that way to start warming up. And now, again, the tying run as Kiriishi is going to be relieved by the courtesy runner Hitomi Kawabata. So Kawabata is running for catcher.
Number 10, Hitomi Kawabata.
Fujimoto is at second. Kawabata is at first. Running for Kiriishi. And the hitter now, Ayane Nakagawa. She homered yesterday, and that same feat here would tie the game. There's a pitch outside and high. Time is called. Brenda Beer is out to have a chat with Jessie van Alst. This is the point of the game now. We're getting to the third time through the order. This is Nakagawa's third look at Jessie van Alst. Then she goes over and gets a few pointers from Reiko Utsugi. You know, Utsugi, with a little smile on her face, she knows that her team is pressing maybe a little bit in this game, not quite clicking on all cylinders, but still protruding a relaxed demeanor. Even after she thought she had a run taken away. That pitch is a strike called, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Ayane Nakagawa. And you hear the Netherlands fans chanting Holland, Holland, Holland out in the outfield with the trumpet. 1-2, and a strike called on the outside corner. 1-2. Nakagawa was running up to bunt. And it was over that outside edge. Nice frame job by Brenda Beers. There you see a look inside the Japanese dugout, looking on intently. No one sitting down. Another drama-filled game with the Netherlands. They like to walk the tightrope. Tying run at the plate. And the off speed is outside. That drew a reaction from the Dutch fans, but that was well off the plate. Kiriishi, pinch run for by Kawabata, is at first, and Fujimoto at second. Off speed hit on the ground to Van Gerp. She goes to second, and they get the force there. Good play by Suka Van Gerp and Britt Vonk to retire the side. And Jessie Van Alst has pitched 5 shutout innings. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left at the end of 5 complete. 3-0 Netherlands over Japan. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport.
For the second cooling break, and we'll resume in the top of the 6th inning. Signore e signori, con il regolamento del torneo, la parte bassa del quinto inning alla sua conclusione porta alla sospensione di 3 minuti per il cooling break. La partita ricomincia con la sesta ripresa. Intanto, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome back our mascot, la nostra mascotte di nuovo in campo, Mandy.
Maybe would do, and that was a single to Dinette Oosting, and then Van Gerp replaced her with a fielder's choice. And Yukiko Weno is going to face 8, 9, and 1. She has allowed only 1 base runner. That was a single to Dinette Oosting, and then Van Gerp replaced her with a fielder's choice. Other than that, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts since coming to the game with 1 out in the 3rd inning. And Japan is out on the field ready to go after this 3-minute break comes to a conclusion. The heat break, of course, is very hot here in Castellones de Estrada. And Annemiek Janssen, Demisha Charles, and Britt Vonk will step up to the plate against Yukiko Weno. Janssen was the first hitter that Weno faced, and she struck out. Weno, in fact, struck out the first 4 hitters she faced. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Netherlands. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Japan. They have squandered a couple of opportunities, but at the end of the day, you really got to tip your cap to the Netherlands. They have simply outplayed Japan today. There's a swing and a foul tip. Strike 1. Miyu Goto started. She went 2 innings, plus a few batters. That pitch is a strike in the outside corner. 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts for Sakura Miwa. 3 hits, 1 run. And then Yukiko Weno took over. And a foul tip, but Kiriishi could not hold on, so Janssen stays alive. Janssen 0 for 7 in the tournament, but she did walk earlier. She walked in the 2nd inning. And the pitch is upstairs, ball 1, 1 and 2. Defensively, Japan playing back, not looking for a bunt. These next 2 hitters maybe would do something like that. Sakamoto at third is a step in front of the bag, as is Shimoyama at first. Swing and a miss. And Janssen has struck out again. That's the 6th K for Weno since she came into the game. And now Demisha Charles will step up.
Number 16, Demisha Charles.
And the pitch is upstairs to Demisha Charles. And Charles with a fly ball to deep center field, going back Nakagawa. She's got room in front of the track to make the catch. And Charles flies out. Just want to clarify a few things about that play that transpired at the end of the 4th inning for Japan. They had runners on 1st and 3rd and 2 outs, trailing 3-0. They sent Shimoyama to try to get into a rundown. She was in a rundown and was tagged out, and it was ruled that Ishikawa did not cross the plate before the 3rd out was recorded. That, of course, like anything else, can be challenged, but as the bunt is popped out of the reach of Sakamoto at 3rd from Vonk, strike 1. Of course, like anything else, that can be challenged, but the timing applies, and that's what I mentioned. The Chinese coaches in the game against Italy, they were on it. As soon as that home run went over the fence, they immediately came out of the dugout before Piancastelli had even rounded the bases to say that the runner from first had left too early. And in this case, that's exactly what should have happened for Japan. And it did not. And so that's one of the things that the coaching staff needs to be really on their game. You have to watch all of the signals from the umpires, and that goes for me as well. That pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Britt Vonk. 2 down in the 6th inning. And so, yes, it was a close play, a close call. Those things are going to happen, and that's part of the game. It's part of the beauty of this sport. There's an off-speed pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. And she lines that one foul off to the left. And Kiriishi has a new ball. Yukiko Weno trying to mow down the hitters. Since she's come into the game, she has put a stop to any base runner. She's only allowed, like I mentioned, that 1 single to Danette Oosting. And Vonk looks at a pitch down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff. Off speed, hit in the air to right field, and Fujimoto is there to make the catch. Vonk hit it pretty hard, but a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Castellons de Estrada. Netherlands 3, Japan nothing. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 errors for the Netherlands, and 0-2-0 for Japan. Trying to get something going. 2-3-4 the order. Kyoko Ishikawa, Hotaru Tsukamoto, and Eri Shimoyama. Jessie van Alst deals low, ball 1. She has pitched 5 innings of 2-hit ball, allowed 2 walks and struck out 3. She has kept the hitters off balance. And now the 3rd time through the order, we will see what kind of adjustments Japan can make against the left-hander. There's a bunt. Van Alst barehands it, throws to first, and it's picked by Van Gerp, but her foot was off the bag, and I think Ishikawa had it beat anyway. A leadoff single for Kyoko Ishikawa. She's been on base twice. Every base runner that has been on first base has eventually stolen or attempted to steal for Japan. And Ishikawa is no different. She singled and stole second for last time. And in fact, it was her run that did not cross the plate before the tag was applied on Shimoyama. So now Hotaru Tsukamoto, she bunts. Fielded by Van Alst. The throw to first is in time. Moving to second is Ishikawa. Very close at first base on that one, but there's one away. now Eri Shimoyama.
Ladies and gentlemen, the play for
And I think we are
under review
going to have another review.
is out.
And so now Reika Utsuga not wasting any time. She missed the opportunity to use a challenge already once. Now she's right out there to challenge that call at first base. And so we will await the decision. We've had one overturned call today. That was the play at first on Suka van Gerp. Meanwhile, the Netherlands are going to go into the shade and get some water. There you see the way the process works. Of course, they have to radio in and discuss with the umpires that are watching it. There are 6 cameras set up. They are stationary cameras. They're different cameras from what you and I see. Well, if that's any indication, you make the call. Good job by Van Gerp to find the bag with her back foot. This is the previous call.
The call is overturned.
And it is indeed going to be safe at first base for Tsukamoto. So she'll get a single.
And the runners are
And now the tying run will come to the plate with nobody out. Eri Shimoyama.
now coming to bat.
So Japan will retain their challenge.
Now
And
number 13,
Shimoyama.
Eri Shimoyama.
Stepping up, represented the tying run. And now Japan has things set up the way they want. Van Alst is still in there. Remember, Marjolein Merckx had started warming up a while ago. First pitch is a strike. It is 3-0 Netherlands leading Japan. Japan desperately trying to get that home field advantage for the super round. Winner of this game is going to take on the USA. There's an off-speed pitch upside. Up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. So it's a little bit of a pick your poison. You get home field advantage, but you have to do it against the USA in the first game. Here's the 1-1. And that one missed inside. 2 balls and a strike. Kyoko Ishikawa is the runner at second base. Hotaru Tsukamoto is at first. There's nobody out. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Eri Shimoyama. Fouled away to the screen. Van Alst, who's been using that off speed as her main pitch. Every once in a while she'll throw something with a little bit more velocity up there. That was it. Shimoyama, a very relaxed, protective swing. Not going out of her shoes, trying to drive it deep to the outfield. 2-2. And slapped foul will stay 2-2. And Yamada at first flips it to Van Dalen, who then flips it across to Jesse Van Alst. Big spot in this game. Japan threatening. This is their best opportunity that they've had so far. Off speed, and she just able to get a piece. Shimoyama was way out in front and just barely nicked it on the way by to stay alive. Yui Sakamoto is on deck. Sakamoto is 0 for 2. Shimoyama 0 for 1. She has walked. It was Shimoyama who got thrown out in that rundown before the run scored. And again, the same pitch. Boy, it's so difficult to wait back that much 2 times in a row. You keep thinking, she'll never throw that same pitch again, will she? Well, she did. Came close to getting the strikeout. Shimoyama with a 2-2 count, hanging tough. Ishikawa and Tsukamoto leading off the bases. And the pitch just missed the inside corner, and the count is full. 3-2. Netherlands, of course. You hear the Dutch fans reacting to that one. Shimoyama was looking out over the plate, and that one came in under her hands. I think she's a bit relieved that it was not called a strike. Full count. Nobody out. Big pitch coming. Off speed, hit in the air to right center field, tailing away from Janssen. It's a base hit, and it one-hops the wall. In to score Ishikawa. Rounding third is Tsukamoto. The throw will not be made. It's a two-run double for Eri Shimoyama, and it is 3-2. And Japan has the tying run, standing on second base with nobody out in the sixth inning. And now, I believe we're going to have a pitching change. Indeed, that is most likely what's going to happen. A short break in the action. You see the replay there. Shimoyama went down and got that off-speed pitch, and she hit a slicing fly ball. It was tailing away from Annemiek Janssen, and it landed just short of the wall in deep center field. And Ishikawa and Tsukamoto speeding around the bases. Jessie van Alst is going to get a wonderful round of applause from her teammates and the Dutch fans. She will leave with the Netherlands in front 3-2. However, her responsibility is the tying run at second base. That's Eri Shimoyama. We'll take a short break. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a pitching change for Team Netherlands. Replacing number 9, Jessie van Alst. The new pitcher for Team Netherlands is number 4, Lisa Hall.
So the new pitcher for Team Kingdom of the Netherlands is not Marjolein Merks. It is Lisa Hopp. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. That was against Puerto Rico. She pitched very well in that game. And then she also threw a little bit in the game against Australia. Only 2/3 of an inning. Did not pitch as well in that one. Allowed a hit and 2 runs, 1 earned, but 3 walks. So she's going to try to come back from her performance yesterday and keep things right where they are now for Netherlands. Netherlands currently leading by a score of 3-2. There's nobody out. The tying run is at second base in Eri Shimoyama. And Yui Sakamoto is the hitter against Lisa Hopp. Sakamoto 0 for 2 in this game. Of course, that was against Jessie van Alst, who pitched very well. Sakamoto showing bunt, pulls it back, now lays one down foul. Sakamoto 3 out of 7 in the tournament. Shimoyama, the tying run on second base. Sakamoto stepped out for a moment to get some more specific instruction from Reika Atsugi down the third baseline. Oosting and Van Dalen are very short on the corners. And the pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. And, you know, with Vonk covering third on that, the center fielder Janssen ran in to cover second base in case they wanted to try a back pick. And Marnie Carvalho is telling Sakamoto that she's too far back and not in the box. The lines have been gone for a while, but Carvalho is redrawing them. And now Sakamoto moves up a little bit. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a foul. 1-2 on Yui Sakamoto, 28 years old. Lisa Hop, the second pitcher of the day for Netherlands. Netherlands played a hard-fought battle victory against Australia yesterday. This one is no different. In the 6th inning, there's a high drive pulled foul. That's going to be out of play. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yui Sakamoto. And a line drive down the left field line, just foul. Just barely foul, maybe a couple of feet. That's 2 rocket foul balls from Yui Sakamoto, and Brenda Beers is out to chat with Lisa Hop and talk about pitching strategy. Sakamoto just a little bit out in front. Sometimes when something like that happens, you wonder if Hop's going to go to her really slow offering. Jessie Van Alst has been keeping Japan off balance with her junk all afternoon, and now Sakamoto 1-2 the pitch, and that's exactly what she did. Sakamoto was way out in front of that one, but still able to foul it away. And the question is, how many times will Lisa Hop do that before she pumps one in there? Shimoyama, the tying run, she's at second base. High foul again. Sakamoto is in front of everything. Again, looking for signs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. Still nobody out in the inning. Kyoko Ishikawa and Hotaru Tsukamoto both bunted for singles. And then Eri Shimoyama doubled them both home. Yui Sakamoto with a 1-2 count. And she takes one off the plate away, 2-2. That's a good pitch from Lisa Hop. You know, the hitter's out in front. You want to try to get her reaching for something. But Sakamoto able to let it go by and even the count, 2-2. She's having a very tough at bat here. And now the fastball is high and the count is full. And the 3-2 hit on the ground to short. Vonk holds the runner, throws to first, and it's scooped by Van Dalen, but Shimoyama was able to get to third anyway. Vonk had the play right in front of her. I suppose she could have done that little fake move. You see how Shimoyama read the throwing motion of Vonk and risked going to third. She's now there with 1 away.
Now batting for Team Japan.
And the tying run at third base, and Kanakudo will step up to the plate. And now the Netherlands will bring the infield in. So let's see what Kudo, who's 0 for 2, does. With 1 away, the tying run at third. Swing and a miss. And Shimoyama was nearly caught off third base, getting that secondary lead with Vonk and Osting running in behind her. 1 strike to Kudo. That one is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 away in this inning. Japan, they just need a ground ball or a fly ball. A big chopper would get a run home. It's 3-2 Netherlands. A 1-1 pitch to Kanakudo. A little tapper to short. Vonk has it. Her only play is to first, and the throw is wide and gets past Van Dalen. The game is tied, and Kudo goes to second on the throwing error. That run was going to score no matter what, because it was hit slowly and it got past And Vonk's throw was to the home plate side of first, And it got past Van Dalen and ricocheted off the fence on the first baseline. And this game is tied. And now for Japan, they have the go-ahead run at second base, and that's got to be a huge weight lifted off the necks of the Japanese team. They want that home field advantage in the super round. There's a strike to Hitomi Kawabata. Kawabata is 0 for 2 in this game. Kanakudo at second base. There's one out in the inning. That's the second error for the Netherlands. And that one is outside, 1-1. Kudo does get a run batted in, of course, for the ground ball. It would have brought the run home regardless of the bad throw. And a drive to left field, slicing down the line. Charles in foul ground. Could not get to it. And the count 1-2. Kawabata looking for her first hit in this tournament. A pop-up on the infield. Osting calls for it, shields her eyes from the sun, and makes the catch for the second out. And so Lisa Hopp retires Hitomi Kawabata, and Urara Fujimoto will come up to the plate. Fujimoto reached on an error and singled. She's stolen 2 bases. And so this game tied at 3. And time was called. The pitch clock has been restarted by Marnie Carvalho. Urara Fujimoto at the plate. Go-ahead run at second base. The pitch is a strike called at the knees on the outside corner. Fujimoto had been 2 for 2 coming into this game. She is now 3 for 4, but she's been on base 4 times thanks to the error. Kanakudo is on second base. And that one is on the corner for strike 2. Lisa Hopp throwing strikes to the lefty hitting Urara Fujimoto. Yume Kiriishi, the number 9 hitter, is on deck. And here it comes, a foul to stay alive off the bat of Fujimoto. Well, Netherlands scored 3 runs in the 3rd inning. Suke van Gerp, Laura Vissink, and Cindy van der Zenden, all with RBI singles off of Sakura Miwa. And then now in this inning, Japan finally evening up the score. 2 singles, a 2-run double from Shimoyama, and then Kanakudo bringing home the tying run on the ground ball. And you also have to remember the base running of Shimoyama. She was in the middle of that other play in the 4th inning getting tagged out. Well, she was able to cross from second to third on that ground ball to Britt Vonk, and that's why she was in position to score on the ground ball. There's a little liner caught by Vonk out of the air, and the inning is over. However, Japan ties the game. 3 runs on 1, 2 hits. There was an error and 1 left on base. We're going to the 7th inning here in Castellones de Strada. Netherlands 3, Japan 3. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport. to the top of the 7th inning, tied at 3. And Netherlands are going to send 2, 3, and 4. Brenda Beers, Maxime van Dalen, and Dinette Oosting to the plate against Yukiko Weno. And let's see if there have been any changes. We have a tie ball game here in the 7th inning, and Brenda Beers against Yukiko Weno. The pitch is outside for a ball. Beers in this game has singled twice and struck out. She scored a run. That was in the 3rd inning when Netherlands got all of their runs. We are tied at 3. 3-7-2 for the Netherlands. 3-5-0 for Japan. Japan scoring 3 in the bottom of the 6th to tie this game. As Beers swung through that offering from Yukiko Weno, who has allowed only a hit. There's another swing and a miss. 1-2. And a foul tip held onto by Kiri Ishii for strike 3. That is the 7th strikeout for Weno since she came into the game.
Now batting number 5, Maxime van Dalen.
And Ayana Karoji has taken over at first base for Shimoyama. Maxime van Dalen swings and misses, and the count is quickly 0-2. Fouled away. Now that is not correct. That is Shimoyama still at first base. I can see the name on her uniform. 0-2 to Maxime van Dalen. There's a line drive and a nice leaping catch by Yui Sakamoto at third. Not a lot of time to react. Maxime van Dalen did something that's very difficult to do. Hit the ball hard off of Yukiko Weno, but watch this play at third. Simply reaction. Diving to her left and catching it at the far end of the webbing of her glove. Yui Sakamoto, that was a web gem. And so 2 down. And Dinette Oosting going to try to get something going for Netherlands. There's a little roller, takes a big hop off of the shoulder of Weno, and that's going to be a base hit. That had a ton of spin on it. Oosting is 2 for 2 off of Yukiko Weno. And so now, Suka van Gerp. If there's anybody the Netherlands want to have at the plate with 2 outs in the 7th inning of a tie game, it's her. 1 hit. And she reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out. First pitch is low. Oosting at first base, tied at 3 in the 7th inning. This has been a great game. And the pitch, off speed, that's outside, 2-0. And Weno, who has barely seemingly thrown a ball since she's come into the game, has fallen behind 2-0 to Suka van Gerp. And it's 3 and nope, that's a strike, excuse me. That pitch really zipped in there at the top of the zone. Excellent pitch from Weno. 2 balls and 1 strike count. That was not the one Van Gerp was looking for. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. That pitch had some nasty movement to it. And the count 2-2. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. That is 8 strikeouts for Yukiko Weno. And we are going to go to the bottom of the 7th inning, tied at 3. Will Japan walk it off, or are we going to have extra softball here for you? This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.Sport. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning in a 3-3 tie between Netherlands and Japan. Japan having scored 3 to come back from the dead in the bottom of the 6th. They're going to send 9, 1, and 2 to the plate against Lisa Happ, Yume Kiriishi, Ayana Nakagawa, and Kyoko Ishikawa. Japan had been stifled for 5+ innings by Jessie van Alst, but finally broke through after 2 bunt singles and that big double off the bat of Eri Shimoyama. And then Kanakudo tied the game with a ground ball after Shimoyama's excellent base running put her in position to do so. Kiriishi trying to bunts through it for strike 1. That's how the bottom of the 7th inning begins. There's another game. In fact, 3 more games after this. There's a ground ball to the right side and through into center field past the gloves of both Happ and Van Gerp for a leadoff single for Yume Kiriishi. A good beginning for Japan. And this is going to be a chance for Hall of Fame coach Reiko Utsugi to use the speed that Japan wanted to talk about as being central to their game plan. They have run a lot today. And so now Ayane Nakagawa with the winning run at first. This one is down and away for a ball. Nakagawa in today's game is 0 for 3, 3 for 10 in the tournament. Looking at the signs from Utsugi down the third baseline. Kiriishi, the winning run is at first. And that's outside ball 2. So this game, Netherlands threatened in the first inning. They threatened in the second inning. They finally broke through in the third. And Japan were stifled all the way through to the 6th inning. When they finally tied it up, there's a strike on the outside corner. That's a good pitch from Lisa Happ, right at the knees. Two and one. Another long look down at third from Ayane Nakagawa, but she's patiently waiting for Happ to start her delivery, which she does. There's a fly ball to center field. Janssen ranging to her right. She makes the catch for the first out. So no bunt in this case, and Japan loses an out here. Kyoko Ishikawa will step to the plate. Ishikawa checking the signs. Ishikawa has singled twice and grounded out. She has also scored a run. The only one that matters, though, is Kiriishi on first. And that pitch is up high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. And a bunt. It's a good one, fielded by Van Dalen, fires to Van Gerp. It hits the runner, and everybody's sake. And taking off for third base is Kiri Ishii. She slides in safely as the throw came to Dinette Osting. And so now Japan threatening. They have first and third. We'll see how that's going to be scored, but it doesn't really matter. Now you have the number 3 hitter, Hotaru Tsukamoto, come into the plate, and we're going to get a pinch runner at third for Kiri Ishii. That's the winning run. And so Reika Utsugi is going to also use a pinch hitter. This is Shiho Suto, will pinch hit for Tsukamoto. The winning run is Yume Kiri Ishii at third. She's going to be pinch run for. And let's see who comes out to do the running, I believe. Or maybe she's going to stay there. I saw Utsugi pointing to third as if she was going to get a pinch runner. But right now, Kiri Ishii, as well as Ishikawa. Now, do you dare do that first and third running play again here with one out? I'm not sure you do that, but I'm not a Hall of Fame coach either. So Kiri Ishii is going to stay as the runner at third. She's the only one that matters. Shiho Suto will pinch hit. She is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Infield is in. Outfield has to come in. The winning run is at third base in the person of Yume Kiri Ishii. 3-3 tie, 1 out, runners at first and third. Of course, the infield is back looking for a double play. And they did try the first and third running play. And this time, the Netherlands did not fall for it as Beers fired it to Van Gerp. And Ishikawa actually went back to first because that allows her the opportunity to do it again. But I don't think Netherlands are going to make anything different happen. The best they can hope for is that Netherlands throws the ball away on that throw to Van Gerp at second. And so the pitch was a ball to Shiho Suto. Here's the pitch. And a little chopper to Vonk. No play at home. The game is over. An RBI single chopped off the bat of Shiho Suto. And Japan has won by the score of 4-3. But they had to work really hard to do it. And the Netherlands, for sure, they've got to feel some disappointment. They feel like they had it within reach. But no matter, they are still going to the super round, as is Japan. So Japan is going to take first place in the B group. Netherlands will be the second place in the B group. And this pool play will conclude later on tonight. We'll have the final super round participant after the evening game this evening. Coming up after this one, scheduled for 2 p.m. We'll see if that's what actually happens. We're going to have USA versus China. And then we'll have Puerto Rico versus Australia. And then the evening game, Canada versus Italy. My name is Tim Collins. Hope you enjoyed the game. What a game it was. Japan winning by a score of 4-3 over the Netherlands. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport.